Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BnB Anime. I'm Blue. That's Brad, unless he's on that side. I don't really know. Hi.
Who knows? One of these days I should let you run the recording. That way you can see what all I see and maybe everything will make sense. Because I have no clue what you're seeing.
I think you're this side, but I don't know.
So
on my screen, you're this side, but I think you're this side.
So how I am on your screen, I think is correct because you are on that side for me.
Okay, so then maybe we are on the right sides.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I think it's correct, but who really knows at the end of the day? It's all fine.
Yeah. But today we're going to be discussing Konosuba Season 3.
Yay!
Eventually.
Eventually. It's fine. It's all fine. It's what we do. We get to it eventually, maybe.
Yeah.
But first, we got to be vain. So, how you?
I'm good. I've been painting today a little bit more.
Painting. It looks so good.
Thanks. I've been working a little bit more on the painting that I was talking about last episode that hasn't been released yet, so nobody knows I was doing it. But yeah, I was just working more on that and playing. It's the first time I've properly painted since surgery because I have done some art stuff, but not the fine detail work that I was doing before. And I'm just really testing my dexterity and the longevity of me being able to do it, and it's getting up there. I can do it for a couple of hours now before I start dropping the paintbrush and not doing the lines that I want to do and stuff. So yay, physio.
You do it. You keep it up.
Yeah. What about you?
Work, house sitting, and that's about it. I don't do much. I'm just me. It's fine.
That's fair. I got a new bike, a push bike, a bicycle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was on sale because everyone decided they're deciding now that summer's already over. So
we're having a late summer actually. It's just now really starting to get hot.
Yeah, we haven't had our hot yet. We had frost the other day. We've had quite a bit of rain. A lot more rain than we normally get. A lot more rain than we normally get, which is great for the wildfires because normally I'm surrounded by wildfires this time of year by now, but haven't had hardly any, which has been great.
You do it.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work fighting all the forest fires that you don't start.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely fight forest fires on the regular. That's absolutely something I do.
Smokey the Bear.
Sometimes you're really American.
You're not wrong, but it's fine. I'm only very American. It's okay.
Yeah. And so that's everything.
Yeah, no, I'm not tired. It's okay. Everything's fine.
No, it's just, you've had a very long day already, and then I feel like I have filled my brain with so much information over the past few days that coming up with things to talk about has just left the vicinity. My brain is stacked with everything else that being a topic presenter has left.
Have you just been working on your Japanese that hard? Is that what it is?
Actually not. I've been slacking on my Japanese, which is bad considering that the trip is coming up rapidly, so I need to get back on that train.
Shame.
I know, real big shame. But I have been listening to a court case that I didn't know anything about and have been following it. You know that I do this. I go down...
I do know this.
I go down rabbit holes, and I've gone down a rabbit hole, and I've been watching... There was 8 weeks of trial that I discovered about a week ago. I am nearly caught up. So, my life has been watching live streams of this court. It's an American case. I don't even know why it's so interesting to me. It's not relevant to me in any way, shape, or form. But it was a really bad botched police investigation and possibly a cover-up of something. It's very interesting, especially going into it as if you're a member of the jury. I'm going into it watching it as though, like, I didn't know anything about the case before and I'd never heard of it. So I went into it completely blind. And the way American court cases work is that there's a prosecution and a defense, and the first half of it, I know you know this, but like the first half of it is the prosecution, and then the second half of the case, the trial, is the defense. So theoretically, at the end of the prosecution's case, you should be heavily leaning towards them being correct, right?
Yep.
And then the defense gets to tell their side of the story, and then that's when you fully make up your mind. I'm nearly I'm getting towards the end. I haven't actually caught up that much, but I'm getting towards the end of the prosecution's trial. I'm about 3 weeks into their case, and I'm heavily leaning with the defense, which is not where I thought I was going to be at nearly the middle of trial. I should be properly leaning with the prosecution's case, but I'm really not. So I'm going to be very interested to see what the defense's case is, because so far I don't even know how this got to trial. Like, I do not know how. I don't get it. I don't get how any of these charges actually got brought to a case. Like, it's insane. So that's been taking up so much of my brain power. But because that's been taking up so much of my brain power, I have cleaned so much. I have done so much gardening. I have done painting. I have done so many other hand and eye tasks while listening to this court case, which is one of my favorite things about podcasts and audiobooks and that kind of thing, is I get so much shit done.
I mean, hey, that's my favorite time to listen to shit, is whenever I'm like trying to work or do other things, because it helps the ADHD voices to calm the fuck down.
True. Yeah. But also, if you're trying to listen to the thing, the ADHD goes wild until you find something physical to do.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Like, I can't listen to an audiobook and just veg out.
No.
Like, no, it doesn't work. Like, I have to go outside and walk, or like you do, clean, or just focus on other things. I love listening to podcasts while I edit the shit for this.
Yeah.
Like, it helps. I don't know why, but it helps.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Which is why we both hate audio editing, because you just have to sit there and edit the audio. You can't do anything else.
Speak for yourself. I listen to other shit while I edit our audio.
I can't. I have to hear all the background shit. Well, I probably will be a lot more relaxed, like from here on out, because we're
if you
focusing elsewhere.
Do all the noise canceling and everything, it does it for you.
Yeah, I get that, but then I'm like, but I do that bit, but I'm still editing other bits, and I really have to focus on it. Because I'll hear like other things that I'll need to cut, or I want to get there. And if I'm listening to other words while I'm listening to our words, then I don't know what we said.
Oh, it's like we say shit that has to be cut out or something.
Yeah.
I honestly cannot tell you how many times I've said during a recording, we should probably cut that out, and then I didn't.
Never do. Yeah.
Just because it's just like, either I wasn't paying attention to that particular bit as I was editing it, or I didn't pay attention at all, and I just cut out all the likes and ums and shit, and just literally went on about my business.
Because yeah, I'm probably not even going to be doing that anymore. I'm just going to be chopping off the end and the beginning, and the beginning and the end. Noise canceling, normalizing,
starting from the back and working your way forward. I see. All right,
no,
I like it. I like where you're at.
Syncing and then uploading. I'm not going to be worrying about cutting shit out anymore, because we have so much more time I need time to do other things, so I cannot be spending an entire day editing a podcast.
It's like we have other projects we're working on or something.
Yes.
You know what we're probably going to have to do?
What?
We are going to have to backlog probably a month's worth of stuff. Because after we get back, we're going to be wanting to focus on like all of the actual video and stuff from Japan.
Yeah.
So we're going to have content for while we're gone already prepped too.
Mm-hmm.
So that way we have time to just focus on everything. And so that way we can, probably start of November, just hit the ground running with all of that content.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because I assume we're gonna want to like sit together and calls and like work through all the editing and everything. You guys are
Yeah.
getting way too much information on this, but this is how we work. This is what we do.
Yeah, we've got a lot of planning that we're gonna have to figure out. We should have a
And
meeting on that soon. A meeting. Honestly, though, it kind of is. We do have admin meetings. It's kind of wild.
yeah, no, and sometimes we have them like right smack dab in the middle of the recording, like we
Those
are
are my
now. Hey, we
favorite, where
should
we're
do
like,
this.
we go on a tangent and then we end up scheduling for the next month. And then we're like, great. And then we're like, oh shit, we were in the middle of a podcast recording.
Oh, and again, I leave those in because I forget.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's all fine.
But considering that neither of us have much brain power today, let's jump straight 10 minutes straight into Konosuba.
Yeah, I am so fucking excited.
Yes, this is the third season. If you haven't seen anything else in the Konosuba universe, major spoilers. But we will also put a spoiler chicken hat on for when we actually go into this season talking about, but spoilers for all of the previous Konosuba shit.
Yeah, no, you know what?
Okay.
Just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Full spoiler chicken hat from the beginning.
It's the third season. If you
True.
don't expect that at this point, then what are you doing with your life?
But also, I don't necessarily know if you could spoil Konosuba. Like, is it something you could spoil?
No, I don't think it is. No, absolutely not.
No.
I mean, it's not daily lives of high school boys set up. Like it has a plot and plot, but it doesn't follow, or like it has like a linear story that it's telling. It's all bullshit and shenanigans, but it's like, I don't know. It's in a land all its own.
Yeah,
and
there's
it's
nothing
perfect in every way.
But there's nothing content-wise within Konosuba that I would consider spoilery. I would definitely be like, I don't know if I would be upset, but if somebody had spoiled one of the jokes from Konosuba, I think I would be a little bit like, why would you do that? But it's not like a spoiler, you know? Like, nothing in the plot can be told to you, and you're like, I didn't expect that, oh my god, because it's not serious. Nothing in Konosuba is serious, so you know they're going to take the most ridiculous way out of everything, and that it's always going to have a happy ending. That's because they need those characters to continue on, so whenever they get into turmoil, something ridiculous is going to happen, and then they're all going to get out of it and move on with their merry way for the next ridiculous thing to happen. You know, it's not, they're not going to kill a character, you know, like it's
yeah, no, definitely not. If they did that would be fucking wild.
Yeah, I mean, they literally do kill characters, but they always resurrect them.
This is very true.
Like, Kazuma's dies like at least 5 times every episode, so
the amount of times he killed over in this season, it's fucking wild, dude.
Right?
It's just, I love the fact that he has cheats.
Honestly, though. So if you haven't heard of Konosuba, Brad's going to give you some background, and then I'm going to give you a general overview, because that's how we do every episode.
Yeah, no, with it being a season 3, it's real simple. Nothing has changed. And it ran from April 10th through July, not July, June 19th of 2024.
It ran into the future.
Yeah, for a total of 11 episodes.
Yes. Was it 11 or 12?
It was 11.
I swear I watched 12 episodes. Wow. Okay.
We know. Wait. If you know math good, why let you math every episode?
Because you didn't do it.
Carry on.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Although I'm not going to math today because I can't be bothered. So, I do not know. I do not know what the drop rate is for the season 3, but honestly, I don't really know if it matters. Season 3s are like, okay, drop rate for them people watched it because they like the show already. You know, like drop rates for first seasons are kind of more important because that gives you a general idea of how many people thought that they would like it but didn't like it. But Konosuba, if you don't like it, you wouldn't have already gotten to the third season, you know? So drop rates are usually incredibly low for third seasons. It's, yeah. It is rated on my anime list, though, a 8.46, and let's see if I can do this math off the top of my head, or an Anime Planet, it is a 4.22, which is an 8.44 out of 10. That was nice and easy. Thank you very much. I didn't have to round anything today. Carry things
I'm so
over.
proud of you.
Not round, carry.
Now what's the average of the two?
8.44 did I say? And at 8.46 it would be at 8.45.
I'm I don't think I've ever gotten that out of you before.
Yeah. It's something I do a lot in person, but I don't think it's ever quite translated over onto the online sphere yet.
I mean, you've told me to go fuck myself plenty of times, but like actually flipping me off on camera? What?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can tell I've been talking with the twins more because they do it all the dang time to me, and I do it back, and then I hit them with that one, and they didn't understand that one when I first met them, and then they do now, and they use it back. So I am training the Canadians slowly but surely. I will get to the Americans after that fact.
The most you're gonna get out of me is bless your cottons. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm glad I've infiltrated that part of your brain. And so Konosuba is a isekai in quotations. It's like
it's 100% an isekai.
It is, but it's also that doesn't really matter at all. Really?
No, it's a comedy isekai is what it is.
Yeah. It's so Kazuma is our main character, and he got isekai'd into this world, and it's your basic fantasy realm genre world, you know. And he meets a goddess called Aqua, who is a water goddess healer. Yeah. And they travel the world and get into shenanigans with their friends Megumin and Darkness. The four of them have been going on shenanigans for 3 seasons now, plus a Megumin spinoff. And they are very funny. It's very silly. It's very goofy. Humor is dumb. Humor is sexual, like, icky. The humor is like trying to figure out how to describe this is weird.
It's very tropey, but it knows what it's doing.
It's like, it's conscious anime, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, if any other show did this, like you and I would be tearing this apart.
Yes.
But the fact that Konosuba does it, and we know it's self-aware.
Yeah, they're doing
it's acceptable.
Yeah, they're doing it to point out the fact that other animes do it seriously, and they're like, they take this seriously. They're like, this is really what they're trying to pitch to you as a good idea.
Yeah,
Absolutely
but also
not.
It would be different too if the creepy shit wasn't called out, but it's very much called out.
Yeah, so simple examples to this are like bathroom scenes when they're like spying on the girls in the bath, and then the girls always discover that they're doing this and beat the shit out of them. Like, it's that kind of thing. And it goes both ways as well. You have female characters perving on male characters perving on female characters. It's not always one way or the other, which also helps to level the playing field on that humor sense thing. It stops it from being like a repetitive, weird, like, ugh, I don't know what the writers are going on about thing, and ends up just being a, like, this is fucking funny thing. Yeah. Which I think is very smart. That's kind of something that's across the board, really, is that all of the characters and all of the jokes are evenly distributed. So you don't get one character who's always the punchline. You don't get one character who's always the center of attention or anything like it. I mean, obviously, and I forgot his name even though I said it like 3 seconds ago. Oh my god, my brain's a sieve. Kazuma. He's the main character, so it's obviously mainly featuring his story, but he is not the epitome of this. Like, he's not the focal point of the story all of the time.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of a basic overview. We've already done the chicken hats, but yeah, let's dive into season 3.
Yeah. So, kicks off pretty much exactly where the film left off. Kazuma is fucking dealing with so much PTSD from Sylvia and the orcs. Dude's not having a good time.
No.
So he decides to become a monk.
Mm-hmm.
And then on his way to becoming a monk, runs into a plant monster that wants to try to eat them, but he very quickly finds out, he's like, no, that's not gonna happen.
No.
Gets himself a cheat item that immediately gets swiped, and he's very upset. And then they get invited to the castle of the princess.
Yes.
Where I shit you not, that went exactly how I think anyone would have figured that was going to go.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this whole section was obviously a play on the whole Oni-chan like aspect of anime, which has been played on a lot previously and is almost only done ironically now. I don't really like, because even things like Bunny Girl Senpai, where you did have a brother-sister relationship, it wasn't like back in like 2016 when it was like, my little sister is so hot, my brother is so attractive, you know, like freaking what did we speak about, the Irregular at Magic High School or whatever the other day, where we were talking about that, like what the fuck was going on with that. Konosuba is directly playing off of that and taking the piss out of it, because obviously it's fucking weird. And it's very funny because it's Kazuma knowing it's weird, doing it anyway, being excited that it's happening, and then it all falling to shit every single time. And yeah, it's a great bit.
It is such a good bit. Oh, so yeah, they go to the castle and they explain their adventures to the princess and disrespect all of them. All of them except for Darkness, or La Latina, because she is the most formal out of everyone in this situation. Aqua gets plastered. Megami threatens to blow up the place because Kazuma was disrespected. And then Kazuma loses his shit because it's Kazuma. However, Kazuma is so intriguing, I guess, to the princess. We're like, all right, you all can leave, except for you. You're staying and you're going to tell me more stories. And then he gets teleported back to the main castle and everyone else is left behind. And Kazuma stays at the castle, is a complete creep the entire time. And yet, like, plays games with the princess and just like indulges her every whim in a way that nobody else will. Until everybody shows up and then they're like, oh yeah, nope, he's kind of useless and a creep.
Yeah, so Kazuma is constantly getting exposed for being a phony, despite the fact that he has actually done a lot of good for the world, but he's just stumbled into it every single time. And therefore, whenever people are like, show us the shit that you do to save the world, he can't do anything. because everything that happened was almost a mistake as to how he saved everybody. Like, it's not...
Well,
it's
so
not legit.
You say that, and yet we get the bit where he and... what's the thief chick's name?
Chris, is it?
Yeah, Chris. So where he and Chris sneak into the castle after they were supposed to have left and steal some shit, and dude is on his A game.
Right?
Like whenever Kazuma actually tries and like puts his mind to it, he can do whatever he wants. Like, that's what I think his actual skill is that if he tries, he could truly be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But he never fucking tries.
Well, what was it? He's got the mental strength of tofu.
Something
I think
like
that was a quote.
But,
Oh, that was really funny.
But yeah, like, dude fucking killed it through that. And yet he he fails at everything else. Also, I think that's one of the few, actually, I think that's the only time in the series so far that he's used steel on a girl and not stolen her panties.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I that's a whole other fucking trip and a half. Oh,
Yeah.
but
So they're at the castle, and then she's telling. I thought that this was an interesting, because Konosuba does have some serious notes to it, and that's part of what I was saying about the balance that Konosuba has. Is they need to have these serious moments to be able to break them with the comedic moments, right?
yeah.
So this was kind of one of those moments, which was used as a structural plot device to continue the story, but also as I said, the serious note. So the princess, she can't really do anything. She can't go outside, go to school, go like be an active participant in society because of the Demon King basically fucking things up and making it too dangerous for her, really anybody, to do anything in the city. So that kind of gets Kazuma feeling guilty and protective over her, and then you pair this with the comedic, like, I want to be your older brother shit, and it hyperactivates his protective emotions, and he goes insane. And so then he's also living in the life of luxury within the palace, and so it creates this dynamic that then allows for the other girls to come back in again and be like, where the fuck are you? What the fuck's going on? And also helps progress the story into a direction of where we have an actual focal target of a story. Because at this point, the last story's finished. This story hasn't really yet started, so we don't have a plot direction.
And yet we still, like, we go through this whole castle arc without any plot direction.
Yeah.
We don't really get plot direction until they end up leaving the castle, pseudo kicked out, however you want to look at it, and get sent to, or they go back to Axel. And while there, Darkness starts to act a little weird.
Yes.
She's like wanting to go on these quests to earn a shit ton of money, even though it gets Kazuma killed again. This time he gets eaten by a Hydra, whereas like 2 episodes earlier, he got killed by a bunch of kobolds after giving Aqua shit for getting nommed on by a kobold. He's like, that's the weakest enemy, and then goes and jumps off a fucking cliff and is surrounded by kobolds and killed. Where Eris gives him shit for being a creep. Like, everybody calls him out for being a fucking creep. And so, come to find out that Darkness is actually in debt to Aldarp, the fucking creepy lord, that they blew up his mansion in the 2nd season whenever they destroyed the mobile fortress. So, yeah, so she's in debt. So she has to get married to him because of all of that. Darkness's dad asks Kazuma to save her, and Kazuma's like, no, because she won't talk to me about it. Like, she's being too hard-headed. So they gotta have a wedding break scene. The wedding break scene was great. I enjoyed that. Aqua got fucking sold a chicken egg and told it was a dragon egg, which I will say, part of me really fucking hopes it is a dragon, just for the comedic bit of it.
Because I think my theory of this is that it is a chicken egg, but because of the amount, she was saying about if you protect a dragon egg like this, it'll get this spiritual powers, and if you raise it like this, it'll gain this ability. If it's a chicken, how fucked up is that chicken gonna be? Like, is it gonna be a chicken with superpowers? Like, what's happening? Is it a spiritual chicken?
What is the thing that the shield hero rides around on? The giant bird. Is that a chocobo?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What if that's what it is? It's a chicken that, because she's poured so much divine magic into it, it becomes a fucking chocobo.
Oh, that'd be
But,
so
like,
funny.
but also, for one, the amount of shit that would come from that if, one, a dragon does actually come out of the egg, and then Aqua's like, haha, I was right. And then the mansion burns down or some shit. Like, she gets them into even more shit. Like, that would be great. I would love that so
Yeah.
much.
And then with the wedding, obviously we got the wedding all broken up, and then her dad isn't actually on his deathbed. He was cursed by the Henry VIII looking dude. Yeah. So that wraps that up for the story. It's very simple. Like, the Konosuba's plot lines are always very simple because the main content isn't the plot. The main content is the jokes. So every small plot element definitely is like sandwiched and surrounded by packed humor. And it's consistent, it's funny, there are running gags. Aqua always being drunk is one of them. Her being a performing, like, sideshow is another one. Like, everywhere
And
she's
also
just
the
doing a
fact that,
sideshow act.
yeah, everybody's throwing money at her too. She's like, no, I don't want money.
No.
Like, it's like, I'm not some sort of roadside act. Like, what are you doing?
But it's the way she could be, like, the world's most popular entertainer if she, like, even, like, tried a half of the amount of effort she does on everything else.
Yeah, the amount of people that she attracted to the shop just by doing her stupid little tricks.
Right?
Also, they could be rolling in money.
Yeah.
Like, they could be so fucking rich, but
Yeah.
no, she doesn't take the money from that.
No.
So dumb.
Yeah. And then we also got to find out why Darkness was in debt, and that was because of her basically protecting everyone and being taking out loans to repair damage and
All of that technically their fault.
Yes.
Actually, technically it's Aqua's fault for causing that massive flood during that fight with what was it? Vernia, Feldora, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
It's great. Like, obviously, if you're watching this, you love Konosuba, so watch it.
Fully. And Kazuma's now possibly engaged to the princess.
Possibly engaged to the princess. Also, technically betrothed to Darkness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so confused over it. But also, like, nobody knows that Kazuma's engaged to the princess. Like, only she knows, because she knows where her ring went.
Yeah.
And yet, God, this show's fucking nuts. And it's so good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah. Do you have any theories for anything's going? Like I said, there isn't really much plot, so it's hard to build theories off of, but
the only theory I give a shit about is that fucking chicken egg.
Honestly, same. I think it's going to be a divine chicken. That's my guess. Is it's going to be a divine chicken.
I see, the thing about it is that, like, I'm so torn from, like, what it means for the plot, though. Like, will it be a chicken so that way Kazuma can go, haha, I was right? Or will it be a dragon to where Aqua can go, haha, I'm right? Or
option 3.
Well, so option 3, it's a dragon, but it imprints on Megumin.
Oh, yeah.
So Aqua doesn't actually get what she wants. I would be fine with that, too.
Yeah, it's an explosion dragon.
Oh my god, like, if Megumin's able to, like, harness that energy to where, like, the dragon can cast fireballs while she's causing an explosion. She's already OP as it is. Let's just add to it, why don't we?
We also got a heck of a lot of mentions of the prince that we never saw.
That is true. So, again, they're giving us a lot of leeway for stuff to where I'm curious what more there is to it. But also, we still haven't seen, like, an actual presentation of the Demon King either.
No, and Kazuma did promise the princess and her court that he would go after the Demon King, so...
Yep.
My stomach just growled.
Stomach-chan!
Really. I don't know if I'm not that hungry, but, like, I'm also getting close to when I would eat a meal, so...
I'm I haven't eaten. I'm surprised my stomach isn't rumbly yet.
You gotta eat. Why do I feel like we've already wrapped up this whole podcast and it's been a half hour? Like, what the fuck is going on today?
We're tired. It's fine. It's all fine.
Well, I genuinely... Okay, so voice acting, animation, sound... Oh! One thing I did want to... Sorry, I kicked my... not my mic, but the sound booth and pop shield. So if you heard that, I apologize.
I mean, you know what? It tracks. We've had our feet on the camera today, so it's fine. That feet are just up high like that.
Not like that.
Nope, not on camera. No, not like that. We've been showing off our socks to each other, okay? Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't let that one go.
Okay. All right. It's fine.
What I was saying though was that the soundtrack, there's like a little jingle that goes on whenever, usually when Kazuma's getting like beaten or something, or like or is like zoned out, or something is happening with him. It's usually when he's on screen, and it's the same tune as a Ghibli film, but they've switched it up a little bit. It's definitely a shout out. You know the one? Is it? Oh, which one is it? Where the boy's standing on top of the roof and he has his little trumpet dude, and he's do 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 do, that one. Oh. Whichever one that one is, it's that. But on the end, instead of pitching down, they pitch it up. So it's like do 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 do, and then it goes on to the rest of the song. And it's that they've referenced it in the music, and I heard it, and I was like, I know that tune. Also, I apologize for my awful pitch and everything. I don't do that shit. So it's that tune, and I heard it, and I did it. I think I heard it a couple of times throughout a couple of episodes. So it's regularly in there, and I think that's a reference to a Ghibli film. I don't know which one, but one of them.
I mean, it could be. It very well could be. I don't know what you're referencing. It's the exact same
thing. They've just changed the ending a little bit and then continued it on and made it longer, but it's that.
Interesting. You have no clue. But voice acting, though, top tier, as per usual.
I agree. I watched it both subbed and dubbed. What? I know. I normally only watch subbed, but I was painting, so I put it on dubbed so I could like paint and then watch at the same time.
Wait, this season was dubbed?
Yeah, it's only dubbed to like episode 10 or something though, so like episode 9, so you have to... I watched it half and half.
The whole time I've been rewatching this just so we could record. I could have been watching it dubbed. I love the dub for the first 2 seasons. I'm so upset right now.
Yeah, I watched it on Crunchy dubbed, like half and half. I thought both were great. I thought they both did a great job. It took a while for me to get used to the English voice acting because I haven't heard it before. So I had to watch a bit to make sure that I knew who was who. But I thought it was good. I guess it's just unusual for me to hear anime in English. And so it took a bit for my brain to like get back into the story again, but I don't think they did a bad job. I just think it took me a while to adjust.
I mean, hey, first off, good for you for watching something in English. Because I never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day.
Very, very, very rarely will I watch something in English. Mostly because, well, I am actively training my ear in Japanese, and I know that anime Japanese is not speaking Japanese, but it does help me with like tenses, mainly tenses and some grammatical things. Obviously, like the conversations are incredibly exaggerated, and most of them are in casual speech. But I do watch it for the pacing and to see if I can recognize words, and I can listen to Japanese fairly well and get the gist of what's happening. But a lot of the stuff in Konosuba isn't regular words. So it was harder for me to listen to Konosuba and know what was happening than a regular slice of life. So I put it in English.
Oh, the fact that you watched the first half sub though, or sorry, dubbed, I'm so curious because the whole bit with Kazuma doing the whole like badoom noise whenever like he was getting complimented, I think like episode 4 or some shit like that.
That may have been in Japanese. I watched the beginning in Japanese, the middle in English, the end in Japanese.
Oh,
So I don't
'cause
know. I don't know which one is which.
I'm so curious to see how that worked in English or just in general because I watched this through subbed twice. And I love it so
You're gonna
much.
have to watch it after this in English.
Oh, I'm going home to go sit. Not home, but I'm home now. But I'm going to where I'm house sitting to go sit in the hot tub and watch this shit in fucking English now.
Yeah, I think it's the last 2 episodes that haven't been released in dub yet, so you can watch most of it in English. But yeah,
It'll be fine. I'll get to it at some point. I don't think you'll have that same luxury for bartender though for next week, unfortunately. But
No.
it'll be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the one thing I wanted to say about the sound design. And then the voice acting. Did you have anything to comment on the voice acting for?
Just voice acting was great, as per usual. It's batshit crazy, which is to be expected. I want to know how their throats feel after shouting like that. Because that's gotta suck. Like, as much shouting as goes on in this.
They need some, like, honey lemons or something.
Yeah, no, definitely something. So you have all of that. And then the OP and ED were as good as you would expect for this show.
The OP especially, I listened to, like, every time. I thought it was really good.
There was one bit to where I think it is why they chose this OP. Because at the start of one of the episodes, they end up asking Cosma, like,
Yeah,
are you a pervert? And then it immediately goes into, yes, we are.
I noticed that as well. I noticed that too.
I fucking lost my shit over that. Like, I noticed it my first watch through, and I was like, oh my god. I was crying from how hard I was laughing. It was so fucking good.
I meant to bring that up as well, because I remember that bit too, and I was like, oh, I have to talk about Brad with that one.
I don't know who that one is, but talk away. There's plenty to talk about, my dumb ass, so it's fine.
But then, so that's the voice acting, that's the sound design. Art style, same as normal. It's exaggerated on the characters. I really appreciate things like in the wedding scene when it's the shot of darkness and then there's the audience in the background on all of the pews. All of their faces are drawn. All of them are unique. All of them are expressionate.
Yeah.
It's things like that I appreciate with the show, because there's no need for them to spend a lot of time on, foliage or like general background scenes like we see in things like Freerun, for example, where they have like this beautiful scape and they're kind of in the same kind of world. There's no need for Konosuba to be spending the time on that. Where they should be spending the time on is the expressions, is the physical comedy, and the basic animations. I thought in general the animations were really, really good. The art style was really good. And they put the attention to detail where it needed to be. One thing I will say is that the only time that I thought it felt stilted was on Darkness's walk down the aisle. Because of the way that you are supposed to walk down the aisle where you take one step and pause and one step and pause, it kind of ended up being like less movement-y, more still image-y. That would be my only thing.
And I didn't even really notice that, so.
Yeah. That was my only comment where I was like, this feels kind of a little bit stilted. But yeah, that was it. I wasn't keen on that. But I also don't like the way people walk down the aisle like that either.
See, it's one of those things. Like, I get it. It's your day. You want to make sure, like, everybody can see you in your dress, and it's fine. But it's just like, just fucking walk.
I also noted, this isn't anything against the show, I just noted that they they did like a Western style wedding in a church with a white dress and then the church pews. It's very Christian Catholic kind of style setup, but they didn't have everybody rise when the bride came in, so nobody was standing. And I just thought that that was an interesting thing of like it's supposed to be this big church formal, like noble wedding, and they didn't go through that, which to me I would consider to be a fairly universal courtesy. Like it's like I feel like that's a pretty normal wedding thing, is that everybody stands up when the bride comes in. I don't know.
I wonder what Japanese weddings are like.
Yeah, it was just something I noted. I don't think it's anything against the show. It was just like, oh, it's funny that they're doing this kind of thing, and I consider that to be like manners at a wedding, I guess. Like it's
I mean, and I get that because that's how it is here. So I mean, I get it, but I'm very curious to see like what the deal with that is.
Yeah, I don't expect it to be universal globally. I just noted that it was a thing. I was like, oh, they didn't stand up. Sound design, art style, voice acting. I think that's everything, right?
I think so.
OP&D.
What do you give it?
9. It's fucking funny.
Fair enough.
You?
9.75.
9.75. Why the lack of the 2.5? 0.25.
Not enough plot.
More tits, according to Brad.
Not like that. Oh, if there was like proper story through it, I could give it a 10, but it's not proper story. It's everything I want out of a comedy. Like it's stupid, it's hilarious. I laugh until I cry watching it. Like it's so fucking good. But it has that little bit of a thing that it lacks from like having a true story to where I can just it's perfect. Like it's perfect to me, but it is not perfect, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I feel like this season was almost a setup season for the next season story-wise, because there was like Darkness's little story, but the main key takeaways that I have from this season are that Kazuma and the Demon King are like likely going to have an interaction soon. There is this prince that has been mentioned a bunch of times, but we haven't seen, who is supposedly dealing with the Demon King or like on military leave of some kind at the moment. And then also there are these divine objects that are incredibly dangerous, and if they fall into the wrong hands, they can be incredibly like detrimental to society, right? So like those are the big things that I am taking away from this season in regards to storyline and where the storyline could go. Obviously then with Aqua's chicken dragon being added into the mix. But that's like a comedic joke that hasn't yet had a resolution. I don't know how impactful that necessarily will be to the plot, unless it is a dragon or a divine chicken of some kind that then adds to the party and we get a new party member effectively. But yeah, it does kind of feel like this was a setup season, which is why I gave it a 9 out of 10, because I'm expecting that next season is where all of the shenanigans are really going to take place.
Yeah, which, I mean, I was so pleased with all the shenanigans we got anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this season. It just continues to get better and better. I have zero complaints. If you've made it this far and you've seen the first 2 seasons, you need to watch the third. It's fully out now. It's fully available. Get to watching.
Yes, and let us know in the comment section of the YouTube channel, is it a chicken or is it a dragon? Or option 3.
Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section down below, or wherever you can find us at BnB Anime. We're BnB Anime literally everywhere. Next week, I presume we're doing Bartender.
Yes.
Because I know you've been wanting to do this for quite a while.
Yes, I really do want to.
I am, again, so excited because I've been watching Bartender week to week, and I'm so excited. It's going to be great. It's going to be good. But yeah, So thank you all so much for listening. We greatly appreciate it. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.